Hey y'all. Alrighty. Look what I've got myself into now. Okay. So you might be wondering what's going on here. Okay. First of all, and I knew this when I bought it, there was a hole right there where that flap is. There was a hole in the floor. I had to fix it and repair it. Um, Also, the carpet here was nasty. It's much cleaner now, smells much better. I pressure washed it when I had it out to repair that hole in the floor. There were some other rust spots all over that had not rusted through, and they weren't weak enough to be repaired, to be replaced, but that one there had rusted all the way through, so of course I had to replace the metal right there. Now, I'm going to warn you, that does not look the best in the world. So, before anybody gives me any grief over it, just be aware it is what it is. Okay? So, also, I just put regular paint back down on the floor on the areas that had to be repaired. I did not use any sort of sound deadener material other than the factory stuff, which is still attached to the back of this carpet. Let's see. Believe it or not, I've actually vacuumed this like a dozen times or more. I'm going to vacuum this stuff up here real quick. So, yes, that floor patch panel, that was made from the heat shield that came off this truck here. The heat shields were no longer in use, and they were about to fall, and they were about to start dragging the ground because one end of them had rusted off. So I cut the rusted end off. The rest of it was really nice, and I put it to use right there. Yes, there are screws there holding that down. I know. Why didn't I weld that? Well, here's why. Not only would I remove this, which I did have this removed, the carpet, but I would have to remove this panel here. Those trays. I have to cover up this dash. I have to cover up the door panel. All of that. This truck has to run tomorrow, okay, which is Friday. Has to go somewhere Friday on a little trip. So, and it's going to be pulling the camper again. So it's got to be all back together. I don't have time to do this, do all my other duties, all my other jobs I have to do around here, and go and um, still work on this and work a job too. Let's throw that in there too. So yeah, the YouTube isn't my only thing. I have to work a regular job too. So, all right, now little commercial break here. Okay, so let's talk about real quick how much that I am really appreciating you all, and that is a humongous amount, just enormous. I want you all to know that I am now over 1,900 subscribers. It's just phenomenal. I could not have done it without you all. And I want you to know that I really, seriously, seriously appreciate you all. I really, really do. And I will never take that for granted. Okay? But let's talk about something else real quick. You know, I love to help you all out. I love to inspire you all and educate, help you all learn how to do this work. And I'm trying to do the best I possibly can. So I just want you all to know that I'm doing the best I can, and you know, I don't have any editing software. I don't have capability of editing videos yet. I would love to, but at this point in time, I just don't have that capability yet. Not only that, I'm not a computer whiz. So until they come out with computer editing, you know, video editing for dummies, I'm kind of well stuck, I guess. But anyway, all right. Enough of my ranting and complaining. Um, what I'm doing here is this tray right here is the tray that goes behind the rear seats, and I'm cleaning it up. It's very nasty. Never been cleaned, or at least not been cleaned since we got the truck. And I'm getting it cleaned up now, and so I'm hoping that I can get this all back in tonight together today, which I will, and get this all squared away. But the carpet, you're going to need 2 people, okay? There's 4 fasteners for the seats, okay? You're going to have 4 bolts, goes across through there, okay? That goes on the front of the seats. The back of the seats are held down by 4 studs, okay? You see the holes right there. There's the furthest one over there. These two outer ones here and over there, they're the smaller. They use nuts and they're smaller. These use a larger nut. I'll tell you the sizes in a little bit, in a few minutes. If you're doing this yourself, you do not have to unbolt seat belts. I learned on my own. One other thing I had to combat was there was a nest of ants that were living over there. So, yeah, they were having the time of their lives, and then they got evicted. So, okay, I've got vacuuming to do, and I've got cleaning to do, and then I'm going to show you a little bit more about putting in these seats and everything. So, I'll be back in a few minutes. Oh, and this Ultimate Interior Detailer, it's pretty good. It's not the best in the world. You know, it does make it look a little nicer. It's a nice, I use it as a cleaner, but there are stuff that protects better. I'll stop this here for just a minute and I'll show you. Okay, y'all, have a look see here right now. You see, looking much nicer. Okay. No knowledge as to when this was last cleaned on this truck. So, as you can see, here's what I used. This is just all-purpose foam cleaner. I sprayed it all down. I let it sit for a few minutes, hosed it, applied it again, hosed it down, washed it by hand with that stuff, the spray cleaner, the tough stuff. Then I dried it all off, went back over it with the Meguiar's Interior Detailer and Cleaner, and then Ultimate Interior Detailer, and then finally some VLR, Mother's VLR. Reason why so many steps is because this has been neglected for such a huge amount of time, a very long time. And this is the next part that's got to go in the truck. But first I got to do some vacuuming. So I'm going to do the vacuuming, and then I'm going to show you how to put that part in and get it out of here without breaking it or tearing it all to pieces, okay? So that'll be next. And I hope what you're picking up here is that you can make your vehicle look better and smell better and perform better with just basic stuff like cleaning, okay? And you might say perform better. Wait a minute, what are you talking about? Well, like, cleaning stuff like your throttle body, cleaning stuff like your Can-Am air filters, and those sort of things. Oh, also cleaning the radiator and the AC condenser. I cleaned that up the other night, so I'll pop the hood here real quick and I'll show you that. Okay, so I cleaned all of the transcooler, the AC condenser, and the radiator the other night with the pressure washer, and hosed off the engine some too. Back when I did the intake job, there was just tons and tons of of debris that mice and all sorts of other little animals had dragged up here and deposited up here. So, yeah, probably can't see nothing in there right now, but inside here, much, much cleaner. So it will probably run a little bit lower temp. So that's going to be nice. And I'll definitely be looking forward to that. So, also too, it's nice to have a cleaner engine bay too. It doesn't. You pop the hood open. It's just nice. It's clean, and I mean, like, look at this. Watch this. Look. I mean, I'm not like getting greasy, nasty, filthy, and when I pop the hood open, which is nice. Really super nice. So, okay, let's get back to work. I'm gonna do the vacuuming in there. Not a whole lot of vacuuming, just some vacuuming, and get that done and over with. Be right back. Okay, we're back, and I'm fixing to put this tray, tub, whatever you want to call it. It goes right back here behind the seats, underneath this part here. So I'll show you how to do it. It's not very hard. Basically, let me check the camera here. Basically, what you have to do, it's really simple. There's these hooks right here on the back of this back upper portion here, and there's 4 of them. Okay, and basically what they do, you see these holes right here. I would take this off, but I don't want to damage it, and I'm not entirely certain how to take it off anyway. But anyway, you take your hooks, you put them in the slots, okay, and you have to do it like so. You have to get the thing back here like so, you see. So you just put them up there like that, all right, and then you have to, in my particular case, I'm going to have to do this number. We're going to come over here and physically feel. Okay, there it is. Yep, okay, there it is. Yep. And then you just push a little bit, and it goes up, it goes down. So basically, you want to just like that kind of motion with this piece so that it goes in there like it's supposed to. There's just 3 screws, Phillips head screws that holds it down, so it's not a big deal. Okay. So next, get the screws, and I put them back here. I'm going to get a little tray or something to lay them out in. Here we go. Right, there's the bolts that goes in the seat. Get that crap off them bolts. Let's see. It's a good idea to like start laying out your hardware. When it's been a day or two since you've taken everything apart. Just go ahead and lay stuff out, and so that you know where stuff goes. See that little box right there? There's 4 bolts that holds it in. Here's 3 of them. I'm just going to lay them right up there. I'm pretty certain that's where they go. So there we go. Then your Torx head bolt, that's going to go right there for the seat belt. Of course, here's my seat belt. There we are. Now when you do this, try to pay attention to how the seat belt wants to lay in the truck. You don't want it twisted up and everything like that. It just makes it look nicer when you don't have it twisted up like that. So I've got all my seat hardware here. The 2 nuts, or 4 nuts, 2 smaller ones, 2 bigger ones, and then the 4 bolts that goes across the front here. And these larger ones, they're self-locking nuts. They go right here and here. And then the smaller ones, they go on the outside. Okay. So now the screws, I think most of the screws have held down the seal plates here. The seal plate and this cover here are one piece. The seal plate screws, they all were like this, really in bad condition, so I'm probably just going to replace them. The screws that go in here, they're just these black Phillips head screws, nothing special about them. We'll just grab them up. I think there's 3 of them right there. Okay. Yeah, most of the hardware that went into the, see, here's the only 3 screws I was able to salvage. I mean, they were, all of them, most all of them were just in really bad shape, so I'm going to replace them with something else. Okay, so I know what I need to do. Let me go get some tools. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I've got a couple of the screws started right there. There's another one right there. Okay. I didn't run them down right yet because you want to get them all started and then run them down. Okay, then tighten them down. Let me go to the other side here. Okay, see, and you want to line up the hole the best you can. You probably can't see down in there, but it is lined up. That's what I was using the light for, just to check. And so see, I'm starting it with my fingers. Not real hard. You can use a regular screwdriver, or you can use some sort of drill with a attachment. You don't have to run it down there. Okay. Just enough to secure it in place. That's all you need. Okay. This is coming along really nicely. I'm going to probably clean these items up here real quick. I vacuumed back here a little bit on this back panel, and I just want to make them look nice. You know, this is my wife's truck, so you know, I want to do all I can to help it look good and look nice. I mean, I like the truck too, don't get me wrong, but you know, of course, if I can win some brownie points with the wife, hey, you know, that's always a good thing. So, run that down in there like so. Okay. Again, doesn't have to be super tight. So, I'm going to get these items out of here. Probably get the vacuum cleaner in here and just vacuum all this up. Alright, and I'll be right back in just a minute. Okay, y'all, the seat is in. I've got these bins back here cleaned up, and their little cleats that go on right here. And I've still got to bolt that guy down. I'm not sure what that brain box is for. Some sort of little computer for something. Maybe the analog control. I don't know. Anyway, so, or rear anti-lock control, let's say that. But seats are sitting in here. Still got to bolt them down, and I've got to get them all straightened out. So it's starting to come together. I've got the seal panels that go right here. I've got them cleaned up. I'll show you those. Didn't take much to clean them up. They were pretty dirty. They do not, of course, they do not look like brand new. They are looking better. And I don't have any kind of protectant on them right yet. I just cleaned them, and then I'm going to put protectant on them once they're back in the truck. So, anyway, next I'm going to bolt these down. I'm going to put a little anti-seize on the bolt threads. That way we don't have trouble getting them out later. case I want to change something. So that'll be next, and show you a little bit more in just a minute. Okay, y'all. All right, I'm fixing to put this panel in. I've got the seat lined up with the bolt holes. I've got the nuts started. I'm not going to run them down right yet. The bolts were just, the heads were in such bad shape. I painted them. It didn't take long to like take a wire brush to them and clean them up with some brake parts cleaner and dry them off, and then hit them with a little rattle can black. So I'll show you what else I did. I did the same thing on the screw heads here. I was able to salvage about 5 of these screws. And so I'll show you on these, they have this kick panel attached to them. What you do to get this all together is you put it in like so up here, okay? I'm gonna try to do this best I can, one-handed. Get it underneath this panel here. Then push it all the way forward, and you have to kind of do the same thing back here, but back here you have to get it under this panel here. Well, no, okay, this, you don't, it goes right like that. Now I'm gonna look, you see the light down in there? Okay, my hole is pretty close to being lined up pretty decently, so I'll try one of the screws. And okay, I'm not going to run it down all the way, I'm just going to run it down some just to get her started. Come back here, do the same thing. You get the point though. I don't think, yeah, that one's not threading into the hole. That's going somewhere else. Okay, I've got to get that. There's some plastic that's jammed in there. I've got to get it out. So, okay. Another thing about doing all this cleaning up, and this is another little side benefit. I've still got to clean these panels right here beside the, right here. Another side benefit is that it just makes everything smell so much better in here. I mean, it's just dramatic. It's very dramatic how much better it smells in here now, just now. So that's something that's really super important. If you're like me, you hate air fresheners. You know, cleaning stuff like all the interior parts, it just makes it smell so much better. And then when somebody sees it and they look inside, they're like, God almighty, this thing looks clean. Somebody takes care of this thing. And it just looks good, you know? I mean, it's like, you know, getting all the lights working. You get the lights working, all of them work, and they all shine brightly and everything like that. You know, they all work, and they all work like they're supposed to. You know, then it's like, wow, the thing looks great. You know, somebody gives a shit. Somebody's trying to make the thing look like something. So, you know, and this is all, everything I've been doing to this thing is stuff that you can do, and you don't have to spend a fortune to do it. Okay, that's the main lesson. That's the main takeaway here, is that you can do all this. Okay, now you might say, well, wait a minute, you got a pressure washer. I don't have a pressure washer. All right, hey, guess what? Go to your local car wash and use the car wash hose. Okay, so there's your way to do all that. So, you know, everything I've been doing on here, I've showed you, or most everything I've been doing on here, I've showed you. And this is all stuff you can do, and it's all really relatively inexpensive. I mean, we've spent, you know, probably about $600 or $700 in parts on this thing. Maybe not that much, maybe more like $5. So we haven't spent a hell of a lot of money on this, and we've got it looking pretty good, I think. Now we're going to get it looking better because we're going to do some cleaning, we're going to do some buffing and some waxing and some rubbing compound on this truck. And oh, sorry. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Anyway, like I was saying, going to be some other things that are going to get replaced, like these front fenders. Both fenders are going to get replaced, and both doors are going to get replaced. This door is starting to rust out at the bottom. This one's actually the best one, but it is starting to rust out down here. And then the other one right here, it's much worse. It's rusting down here too, just like that one, but we've also got this here problem. So those are going to get replaced. This fender is not only rusted out, but it's got a lot of Bondo in it. So anyway, bumpers are going to get replaced. So all of these things I'm most likely going to buy used, and it's going to make the truck just look better. Rocker panels are going to get replaced, and I'll show you videos on all of that stuff. Oh, so here's the Torx head bolt for the seat belt. That's a T50. These are a 13 millimeter. These bolts are they're a 15 millimeter. And then these bolts that go up here, which are now got the paint on them and they're drying, they're a 13 millimeter too. So, okay. And those little bolts are 10 millimeter. So, okay. So, if you have any questions about this or anything else, you know what to do. Drop a comment down below. I'll try to do my best to help you out. Thank you very much for watching. God bless. Have a great one. Now time to get back to work.